whatever you think of summer. Maybe you can't stand it. Maybe you live in a really warm climate and it's just too hot and humid and you're sweating all the time. Whatever you think of that, summer nights are the answer to it. Some of the best times of my life have been summer evenings, summer nights. I always think back to when I was a teenager sitting on the deck with my brother after a stinking hot August day, and then August evening, beautiful, nice and chill. Wedding receptions, when everybody is all dressed up, in a good mood, dancing. Welcome to Sense of Style. My name's Stuart, and I'm going to be talking about summer evening fragrances. It is a tough thing to do, though, because you need to balance the freshness you required in your fragrance, because it's warm out, with something a little bit more seductive, a little bit sweeter, something more for the evening. So you have a difficult balance to have. I've looked through my collection. I've got 8. Let's get to it. Fragrance number 1. This is Rue Broca's Théorème, and this is a clone of Bulgari Tiger. These two fragrances, this and Tiger, I swear to God, it's almost like they were made specifically for summer evenings, because they balance the freshness of citrus beautifully with amber. Not with vanilla or tonka, which can be very sweet, with amber, mild sweetness. So you get some sweetness. You get some seductiveness to go with the freshness of the citrus. This does it beautifully. It's a little musky, but really it's just a lot of citrus and amber. This is a very good clone. I've never tried Bulgari Tiger, but I love this fragrance. The presentation is really nice. The performance is average, but the price is unbelievably good. It's very inexpensive if you can find it. But yeah, summer evenings, you don't have to spend a lot. This one, if you can find it, it's a really good price. Fragrance number 2, Givenchy Gentleman EDT. Now, this one is not really what you'd call a quintessential summer evening fragrance. This is more just for those of you, and I know there are a lot of people out there, like where I live, summer's when people get married. This is like for a summer wedding reception. First of all, it's got a lot of vanilla, so it's really sweet, and it's that's what you want, in a situation where you're going to be partying with a lot of people. But you're also going to be dressed up, and this has iris. Iris goes really, really well with people that are dressed up. It's a little bit more formal, so it's a perfect blend. This is the perfect wedding reception fragrance. Not quintessentially summer evenings, but wedding receptions are usually summer evenings. This is perfect for it. Really good performance. It's a Givenchy. Fragrance number 3, this is Haramain's Dayour Noir, and this is a clone of Parfum de Marly's Leighton. And Leighton is constructed in such a way that I swear to God, it's almost like it's perfect. Just like the fragrance number 1, it's almost perfect for summer evenings, because even though it's got a lot of vanilla, and this actually has even more, this is a little bit sweeter than that, it has fresh florals in the mid. That's all it has in the mid. So it's a floral fragrance. And when I say fresh, I mean geranium, violet, which is extremely fresh, and jasmine. So that compensates for the sweetness of the vanilla. So you get the vanilla sweetness for the evening, then you get the freshness of the florals in the mid. It's absolutely perfect. And as I said, this is a little bit sweeter than Leighton. It's not quite as fresh, but it's fine. It's absolutely perfect. It's got crazy beast mode performance. Women find Leighton to be incredibly sexy on men. I think this would work fantastic in any kind of situation, whether it's a date, whether it's a wedding reception in the summer. Fragrance number 4, this is Acqua di Gio Profondo, and of all of the Acqua di Gio fragrances, this is perfect for summer evenings because it's got a little bit of sweetness. No, it is essentially an aquatic. It's got some mineral notes, so it's a smoothed out aquatic. There's some aromatic notes, but this has orange, which is a sweet citrus, and amber. And for me, this is the sweetest version of Acqua di Gio. It is also my favorite. That sweetness is going to really help in summer evenings, provide a little bit of comfort as it cools down. Yeah, I love Profondo. Fragrance number 5, this is Gucci Guilty Absolute. Now, why is this on here? This is like a heavy, heavy leather and wood fragrance. It's super masculine. And that's why it's here. Not every guy wants to smell like vanilla or amber. You know, I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. I'm trying to accommodate guys that are, you know, maybe a little old school, maybe a little masculine, and this will do it. Now, the thing about this one is, yes, it has a lot of leather and it has an awful lot of woods, but this also has a very fresh cypress note, an evergreen freshness that lightens up and makes this fragrance actually really a miracle, to be honest with you. It's a fantastic fragrance, but that freshness allows it to be, you know, worn in situations like a wedding reception or, you know, a summer date. Yeah, it's an absolute classic. Fragrance number 5, this is Dolce and Gabbana, the One. This is the Eau de Toilette. The EDP works just as well. This one has some performance issues, as we're well aware, but the neat thing about this and this DNA is it was created for a wedding. In fact, the advertising campaign for the fragrance that inspired this, which was Vera Wang for Men, it was just a wedding pictures. That's all it was. It was called the wedding fragrance. And this is pretty much the same thing. It's a little bit better, a little bit higher quality. It's essentially got a lot of, it's a sweet tobacco. So there's a lot of sweetness in tobacco, but it's also got ginger and grapefruit. So there's a fair amount of freshness. As far as sweet tobacco goes, this is really nicely balanced. This is the freshest version that I could come up with. The EDT, as I mentioned, is not super strong. You would have to overspray. I still think it's wearable, though. Probably your best bet is to go with the EDP. It is a little bit stronger, a little bit deeper, but this is a little bit fresher than the EDP, and it would work really well. And fragrances like this, if you do own them and don't wear them a lot, summer evenings are a perfect place to wear them because they mix the freshness and the sweetness. Next up, we have L'Instant de Guerlain. This is the Eau de Toilette. I don't recommend the EDP for this kind of scenario, like a summer evening, because the EDP, like, this is really a gourmand. It's a citrus gourmand. And so once you start getting into an EDP level, the gourmandy takes over a little bit, but this is fairly light. So the citrus is in charge here. So there's a lot of citrus. There's bergamot and lemon. There's also elemi, which is very, very fresh. But as I said, it's a gourmand. So patchouli and cacao, which equals chocolate and licorice. Definitely gourmandy, gorgeous fragrance. This is another one where if you have the EDT and you don't know where to wear it, like summer evenings are absolutely perfect. You may need to overspray this one a little bit. It's not the strongest in the world, but it's absolutely perfect. I mean, even summer days you can wear this because there is enough freshness in it. Next up, we have Jazz Club, which is another sweet tobacco, but again, a fairly light one. When I compare this to other Maison Margiela fragrances that have vanilla, this one is a lighter version. It's got a lot of freshness in the top. You've got lemon, neroli, and pink pepper, so a little bit of spiciness. And the lemon and neroli, that kind of lasts in a little bit. It lightens up. Like, compare this to By the Fireplace. The vanilla is a lot lighter, so it is wearable. It is still a sweet tobacco. It's not super, super heavy like some of the other fragrances, so I think you'd be able to pull this off. Plus, this is such a classic masculine fragrance for, you know, any kind of summer dating situation, and, you know, they usually take place in the evening. Great performance, at least in terms of longevity. I got 6 to 8 hours, depending on your skin type, and it's a super high quality fragrance anyway. Yeah, don't miss out. We got a lot of summer evenings ahead of us, and yeah, don't miss out. Wear one of these.